In a world of monsters and magic, where destiny weaves a brutal tapestry, one girl's cursed beginning sparks a shocking journey to power. This is The Witcher.
Hey folks, Maya here. Heads up, there are spoilers ahead, so grab your snacks and let's dive into today's story.
The story unfolds in the small town of Vengerberg, where a young girl named Yennefer lives with a skewed face and a grotesque hump in the family of a cattleman. Because of her ugly appearance, the girl is constantly mocked by the locals. And one day, when Yennefer is once again mocked by a couple of local young men, the girl accidentally opens a portal to the magical tower of Aretuza, where she's met by the young wizard Istred. The boy's concerned. All magic leaves traces, which wizards can use to find someone who has even an ounce of magic in them. He decides to save the budding sorceress and opens a safe portal that brings Yennefer home. Time later, a beautiful and wealthy old lady arrives at the farm of the girl's father to buy a pig. But upon seeing the girl, she expresses a desire to buy her too. And the father, who does not hide his disgust for his daughter, sells Yennefer for half the price of the animal, despite the pleas of her mother, who recognizes the lady as a witch. So Yennefer finds herself in the magical school of the enchantress Tissaia de Vries, where several girls are already studying. At first, Yennefer takes the separation from home hard and how low her father judged her. She even tries to commit suicide. But when classes begin, she discovers that the young wizard was right. It was her inadvertent wizardry that caused a wave and got the attention of the school's director, the wizard. Those desired to study at the school have also distinguished themselves with the same unique skills. Soon, Tissaia holds the first test. The girls must lift a stone and a flower without touching them, using a spell. Everyone more or less manages to cope with the task, but Yennefer fails. The girl stubbornly tries again and again until Tissaia stops her. Frustrated, Yennefer runs away. Later, she finds Istred in a cave and tells him her name. Sometime later, Tissaia trains her female pupils to recognize man's greatest fear. She pairs the girls and orders them to look into each other's eyes until they get inside their rivals' dreams. Yennefer pairs up with another girl, but she again fails. Tissaia is enraged. Yennefer is useless, and this is because she's lying to herself. Even if she were a beauty, no one would love her, though she's not the only one who has problems. Yennefer shares her problems with her only friend, Istred, who talks about his schooling. He too is having a hard time with everything. The boy offers to read his mind, and the girl succeeds. One night, Tissaia wakes the girls in the middle of a storm and takes them to the Tower of Aretuza, the most powerful magical place on the continent, whose entrance is only open to members of the Wizard Brotherhood. Today, there will be a test in the art of controlling the flows of chaos, which requires catching lightning in a bottle. The girls do not believe in such a possibility, and some get strong discharges even after catching the lightning. Yennefer's turn comes, and she reaches up with the bottle, but she is thrown back against the wall. Enraged, she directs her power at her more fortunate opponent, Tissaia, blocking her mental blow. Later, she reprimands her apprentice. She almost killed today, which means that her emotions can ruin her. Tissaia is not sure that Yennefer will not give in to her feelings and harm her school, for she's to become a great sorceress, and the weak have no place near a ruler. The enchantress already doubts that there is anything in her that the wizarding chapter needs. Frustrated, Yennefer tells Istred everything, but most importantly, the enchantress knows all about them, and they won't be able to see each other again. The boy is willing to show her other, more ancient and powerful magic, but it is very dangerous. He shows her the skulls of the dead elves who built Aretuza. They were the first wizards of the continent, and they were the ones who built all the magical places. But humans came to the continent and slaughtered them. Istred gives her a flower that can only grow where elder blood rests and reads a spell, which by repeating it, the girl opens a portal. The astonished wizard does not understand how she managed to do it the first time, and Yennefer confesses that her real father was a half-elf who died in the purge. It was his blood that made her ugly. The boy kisses Yennefer and confesses his love. Later, she shows Tissaia the flower. It turns out that this was her assignment to get the plant by applying the skills of false emotion. Yennefer hopes to be elevated. The enchantress promises that she will soon hear a knock, and no one at this time. Meanwhile, Istred is also reporting to his mentor, Stregobor, about what he has learned about the girl. Yennefer never hears a knock at her neighbor's door, and, taking the flower, goes after them. She speaks out as Tissaia turns the four of them into eels. The enchantress knows the girl is here and orders her to come out and push her former fellow students into the water. They are now the conduits of magic for Aretuza. Yennefer performs the task and then sees many silhouettes of former schoolmates in the water. Time passes. Yennefer enjoys a love affair with Istred, applying what she has learned to enhance the effect of intimacy. Thus, one day, she creates a whole crowd that watches their intimacy and then rewards the lovers with applause. The boy is amazed at her imagination. What will she come up with next time? So the day of the final rite is approaching, after which they will be masters of their own destiny. Yennefer dreams of graduating from Aretuza and returning to her native Vengerberg as a powerful sorceress to show her longtime abusers and her father what she has been able to achieve. In addition, all Aretuza graduates are perfected before being sent to different kingdoms. All physical defects are removed, which awaits Yennefer as well. The wizard in charge shows her his work, the flawless beauty of the graduates, and promises her an equally wonderful result. He suggests making her tall and noble, but strong. Tisaya, on the other hand, teaches her to look in the mirror and see what Yennefer herself wants. She orders the girl to close her eyes and imagine the most powerful woman in the world. Yennefer complies with the order but does not yet see the promised beauty. Meanwhile, the chapter of wizards gathers in Aretuza to decide where graduates should go, for all kings need court wizards. Then it transpires that one of the leaders of the council, the wizard Stregobor, knows that Yennefer is a quarter elf, which means that she will not be accepted in areas where there is prejudice against elves. The chapter votes to send Yennefer to Nilfgaard, which the aspiring enchantress does not like. She demands an audience with the chapter, but Tisaya declares herself in charge of the distribution. Yennefer is beside herself. She has no intention of wasting her life serving the king of a small southern kingdom and a lover of women. The tutor reminds her of the elven blood, and the girl understands how Stregobor knew about it. The initiation ceremony begins, which Yennefer does not attend. Worried, Istred finds her writing a letter to her father, asking him to confirm that she is his own daughter. The boy does not believe that this letter can convince the chapter, but the girl simply does not know what to do, for even if Istred disproves his words about her origins, no one will believe him anymore. The enchantress is frustrated. She didn't know why Stregobor needed this information, and she has already missed all the initiation spells. Istred suggests that she should go with him, for he has been offered to become an explorer. They can travel the continent and discover the unknowable, but unexpectedly, the girl cruelly ridicules his plan. She's not going to dig through the dust of the ages at all, and these are his dreams and intentions, and, in her opinion, as always, he does not even ask. Istred, shocked, says Yennefer is not at all what he thought she was, and he expresses his opinion that she's angry because she missed her chance to find beauty. But the girl needs power, and she didn't experience so much hardship studying at the magic school for nothing. Yennefer runs to the enchanter who is in charge of perfection and demands to see his art. Not even the lack of a potion to dull the terrible pain that accompanies the transformation process stops her. As the magician begins the process, Yennefer asks for the scars and cut marks on her hands as a reminder of her former weakness. And the wizard informs her that every magic has a price. Having been reborn, she will not be able to walk. But the girl agrees to everything, even to the removal of her womb, necessary for a complete transformation. The magician reads spells, and the girl screams in terrible pain and rips the chains with which she was tied to the table. Her spine straightens. Her entire body seems to melt and shift from one form to another. Finally, writhing in pain, Yennefer loses consciousness. Meanwhile, in the main hall of Aretuza, the initiation ball continues. Suddenly, there is a door opening, and there stands an unusually beautiful girl with violet eyes. Tisaya realizes that Yennefer has disobeyed her orders and hurries to take her away. But it is too late. The Aedirn ruler has already noticed the beauty. He invites her to a dance where he expresses his desire to see her as court wizard in his kingdom. Tisaya has to retreat and only watch the dance of the king and the enchantress from afar. Directed based on a series of books by Sapkowski, The Witcher is quite curious, fascinating, and vivid. The atmosphere of magic, the world of monsters and steel swords, is transferred quite well, so the adventures of the female protagonist will be even more exciting in the next episodes. So that's it. If you enjoyed this movie, share your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to check out the recommended movie on your screen right now. Watch it and join Mahi's movie recaps.